Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
I'm so excited. Unfortunately, Felicia could not be with us today, but we have a lot to talk about. This is season 24, episode 2, The One You Feed. Before we jump into this week's discussion, as a reminder, if you've been assaulted, if you need help, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does that spell?
It spells hope, and I can say that calmly and slowly because Felicia isn't here to poach it from me, just like Benson poached Muncie.
Wow, look at that. Absolutely. Also, if this is your first time here, please consider this your content warning. This episode dealt with some serious issues, sexual assault, gangs, things like that. I guarantee I say something offensive on today's show. So please consider this your content warning. And, listen with caution. That's it. All right. The quick cap for the episode. A group of teens terrorizing tourists. Who wrote this? What a jerk.
When I read the synopsis on top of the peacock, when I was had it paused, I was like, ooh, some alliteration going on.
Jerks. A group of teen terrorizing tourists has the SVU squad working overtime. McGrath teams them up with the Bronx gang unit to track down a crucial lead. My hair is all up in my face. Taylor, what did you think about this episode?
I liked this episode quite a bit, honestly. I liked the people we had to work with, unlike, last season when we worked with, what was it? Was it hate crimes that we would always get paired with?
That happened a couple times, but we also worked with other Bronx and Queens and people.
Yeah, I don't know. The one I was thinking of is the one with the guy from Orange is the New Black, right?
Yes, that was hate crime. He's hate crimes.
We randomly pair with them.
First of all, the fact that Jason Biggs in your head is the guy from Orange is the New Black and not the guy who fucks a pie in American Pie is really that's a very clear difference in our generation.
Yeah. True. But I really enjoyed seeing them work with this unit, which it's not something I say often. I'm usually why are we bringing more people in? I don't care. I didn't ask. Show me the people that we hired to be full-time squad members of the team. But I don't know. I thought it was an interesting pairing. I like how we got to see Olivia be a little bitchy. I always loved that. And I think the conversation between her and Rollins was pretty good. I don't know. I thought this was a very solid episode, and it felt like a better premiere than the premiere did.
I will agree. I do agree. This was a better premiere. This was our first episode. It tells us the changing and the dynamic of the team. I don't know how I feel. The first time I watched it, I had a lot of problems because I was like, this is the SVU premiere. Why are we bothering with these other people? But I also, the second time I watched it, I think I enjoyed it more. I love when it's starting out and Benson says, Finn, run interference, keep him the hell away from me. Because I was like, oh shit, that's me. Because as you know, I have issues with people sometimes. And when I do, I tell someone else to deal with it because I will do something I'm not supposed to. Or say something I shouldn't.
Yeah, she had an attitude, and I loved it. I was into it.
She definitely had an attitude. It was interesting that she had an attitude. I feel like it was not so clear at the beginning. As the episode went on, I went, I don't like this guy either. But in the very first scene that they're teamed up, I was like, this feels like I'm missing context here.
Yeah, I felt the same. I agree. I was like, why is she so anti this guy? But yeah, as it went on, I think it made sense why. But I was with you. But I was like, okay, hate him without reason. I'm here for it. You do what you want,
All right. I think what's also interesting to me, right, is that McGrath forced these teams together. He was like, you have to work with the gang unit. And it reminded me of when he forced Velasco on us. But then, like, Velasco hasn't been his like special buddy the way that Captain Duarte has. Sorry, because my hair is like too big today and it keeps hitting me in the face, and I'm so sorry. um, what was I saying? Anyway, Duarte was not my favorite. But when he compares himself to Stabler, I'm jumping around. When he compares himself to Stabler later, I was like, not okay. You just said you're a bad cop, is what I heard. I know that that's not what you thought we were going to hear, but I heard I'm a bad cop.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I'm just like tired of it because like last week we had some guy who was exactly Stabler. And it's like, do we have enough Stablers? Like, give me something else. Like, I'm tired of it. I really thought for a second Velasco was gone. Like, at the end of this episode, though, I was like, oh, he's leaving. Like, which made me feel a little bad for the actor. I was like, he was here for 3 seconds. But then, of course, it didn't even end up happening. But I was like, they are really going to just be like, bye after.
My notes say offers Velasco a job. Good, go.
Yeah. Wild.
We have people in our live chat joining us. Sarah Puhala is here. She said, I had some complicated feelings by the end of the episode. New people making me feel different ways while still dreading the goodbyes ahead. Yeah. And yes, having classic Olivia Sass was back. It was nice. Love this. I also, Zach and Strongo Army are here. Thank you for joining us live in the chat. I will say I saw a comment somewhere that people are not sure how to live comment and be part of the live chat. We stream live Sundays at 2 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/fanversation, that is where we are. And there is a chat and you just have to be on YouTube. That's it. That's how you be part of the live chat. Also, I'm taking this moment since we're doing it. Last week, we read some wonderful iTunes podcast reviews. Thank you so much for those. There are no new ones this week, but if you write a iTunes comment, we will read them in some fashion on the show live on YouTube, and then it'll be available on the podcast. And other commentaries that you want to send to us, please reach us on Twitter, Instagram, and on the YouTube. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. No other places.
The
YouTube. I'm just letting people know.
On the Twitter, the Instagram, and the YouTube.
I didn't say the Tic Tac. Which
actually.
What?
Just did.
I just did. Yeah. That was a Law and Order Organized Crime reference. I'm all over the place today, guys. That was a thing in there. We'll talk about that later. We have people who chatting up in the chat. Zach says, what a great way to kick off David Graziano's tenure as showrunner. I'm guessing on that pronunciation. Definitely here for what's to come, even with the dark cloud looming above. Yeah, I feel like we all know what's coming, and I don't like it, especially because we do have that scene. We do have that scene where Benson and Rollins are talking, and I don't like where this is headed.
I don't either, but I will say she's leaving, episode 9 we've established?
Yes.
I like that we're at least setting it up now, so it doesn't just feel like, oh, episode 9 comes and she's gone because of all of this. Like, at least like a slow build up, and she's like obviously kind of probably thinking about it. And so at least there's that. Like, that's nice. At least it's not just like boom out of nowhere. At least there's some continuity and like foreshadowing, which I think is nice. At least I'm just trying to look on the silver lining here because I'm obviously very sad about it. But if it has to happen, at least it's being told in a way that's like respectful and kind of a tribute to her character throughout the whole first half of the season, hopefully.
Sure, but are we giving her that? I do agree that we're foreshadowing. I do agree that we're planting the seeds that yes, she could leave because of, this shot. And the fact that they address that, yes, she has been shot before, the fact that Benson says these things can be cumulative, fine. But are we going to have what, another 7 episodes of her just depressed and like
No, I don't know. I feel like it'll be gradual. You know, like this was the kickoff of it, and like we'll get little hints here and there. At least that's my hope.
yeah, that's not what this feels like. This feels like if she told me next episode she was leaving, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. You were mopey all the last episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I don't know that I would say that she's mopey. I feel like she's definitely like, I feel like that's a really harsh word. I feel like she's in pain and she's tired because she's back after getting shot. After
then
like
take more time off.
Yeah, she like barely left at all. Like she was just like bopping around in this episode. So I was like, whoa, feels a bit soon for me. I don't know. Like I said, nothing is gonna make it okay, but I would rather them have, you know, stuff that conversations that are like deep and make sense, and even if it doesn't like completely rationalize it, like they're doing everything they can, and I have to give them credit for that.
I agree. I want to give speaking of credit, some shout outs to the incredible actors of this episode. We have our entire Ohio family. First of all, I need this noted. It needs to be on the record just because this like matters to me and me alone. Lucy Taylor plays the mother of this family. Lucy Taylor was a villain on Leverage Redemption season 1. This is a big deal to me alone. And if you don't know why, wait till the end and I'll tell you all about it. So that was very exciting. Very cool to see her playing this maternal role. She was also in that really awful Rebel Wilson movie Senior Year.
Okay, listen, I had fun with it. I can't even lie to you.
Was
it
so,
good? Did I have
so
fun?
Offensive. So offensive. We'll talk about it. Nora, our rape victim, was played by Brooklyn Shuck. Really amazing job. Nick Reynolds played the father. Georgia Whaler, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, played one of the sisters. And then we have another sister played by Honor Blue Savage. Really amazing. Also, shout out to Mike Duarte, played by Maurice Compte. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing. And our newest teammate, Detective Muncie, played by Molly Burnett. How do we feel about Muncie? Talk to me.
I mean, I like her. I feel like it's hard not to like her. She did a really good job talking to the girl. She's really sweet. I thought the vending machine moment was hilarious, and that was like a fun little moment between her and Olivia. Is she Cat? No, which will always make me sad. But I mean, we can't fault the actor for that. We can't necessarily even fault, this writing team or whatever for bringing her in, because that was not their decision, which we've, established. But I mean, I like her. I think I will like her.
Okay, so usually when we meet a new cop, we always on this show will be like, oh my God, I love them. I hope they join the team. Oh my God, they're the best. We should join the team, right? That happens a lot.
You say get out. There's like no in between.
Sure. This character was not a character that I felt that way about. Like when she got offered the job, or when it was announced that she's staying on the team, I was like, why? And that seemed very odd to me, especially because twice it is pointed out that she is the only white woman on the gang team. And I went, do we need another white woman on SVU? Like that feels, you deliberately pointed that out. And I don't understand why you're bringing her. Do I think she did okay with the victim? Sure. She did okay with the victim. Do I think that just breathe is sufficient advice? No. Do I think that talking up to your dead family member, I don't know how I feel about that.
I know, but it worked for the kid, and so that was what was important,
Sure. Also, in that scene, Muncie looked like she'd been crying more than the kid. Muncie was crying more than Nora in that scene.
She has amazing eyebrows, so I do have to point that out.
100%. Totally agree.
Great eyebrows. Like, that's important for me to say.
Look, I'm not This is, again, nothing against Molly Burnett, who I think
they
is
were just
wonderful.
distractingly good. Like, I have to say.
What's happening in the chat? Danny asked, how are we feeling about Muncie as a series regular? I'm not even sure yet.
Here's the thing. We've had a lot of people come where we're like, oh my God. Like Velasco, we were not on board for Velasco. McGrath, like, gross. Like, he's not a series regular. I know it's not the same. But we've had a lot of people lately where we're like, oh my God, get them away from us. And the fact that I wasn't like, oh my God, get her away from me, I think that's an improvement at least.
That's such a low bar. Because
okay, listen. We've had a lot of complaints these past couple of seasons. So the fact that we are moving in the right direction is nice, okay? I'm trying to be optimistic today.
I understand what you're saying. And Alice in the chat says, I liked your point about Velasco and women opening up to a man after being assaulted. I agree. I think that that's a really good point. And I think that, yes, the team definitely needs more women. There was a very, very, very small point in time when we had more women than men on the team. And I think that that's wonderful. But usually for us, specifically for you and me, Taylor, we will watch an episode and be like, oh my God, this person put them on the team. And the fact that that isn't our reaction and she's joining the team is surprising to me. And I really am hoping that next episode we get to like see her be herself and not be the zookeeper. Like, I would love to see that and see her win me over. I want that so much. I want our team to grow and be wonderful. I just don't like that it's at the expense of others.
No, that's a really good point. Like, she kind of didn't get to super be herself. Like I said, the vending machine moment, like I feel like that was like more of, we got to see her conversation with Velasco. She's a little sassy. We love that. But yeah, she was kind of trying to, like, this wasn't her squad, so she kind of has to act a different way because of that. She was trying to keep a handle on Duarte, so she was kind of distracted doing that too. And so it will be nice. I also think that if she's going to, listen, no one can replace Amanda. I'm not saying replace, but obviously she's coming in as Amanda is going out. Amanda was really messy her first couple of seasons. I would like her to be a little messy. She wasn't very messy this episode. Like, show me a bit of mess, because we're missing that. Everyone's a little bit too together now. Like, show me some chaos.
I see what you're saying. Sarah says, mixed feelings. I didn't want to like her, but I found myself kind of liking her. And I'm like, the vending machine moment was cute. Yeah, totally. I think, she's not going to replace Rollins. No one can replace Rollins. Rollins, again, in that conversation with Benson, where she's like, she says, I've been so careless in my life, but then she was like, I was thinking about Carisi and blah, blah, and I went, do you forget that you have 2 children?
No, that's not fair. She mentioned them before Carisi.
All right. Fine. Let's talk about our gang, I guess.
We had to give the shippers a little something. Okay.
I think the moment when he was like, let me take you home, that was the something. That was nice for the shippers. That was nice. I was like, this is sufficient.
This is sufficient.
Is that not how you feel about this ship?
Yeah. I went back and forth on them a million times.
Yeah.
I'm very ambivalent now, I would say.
Oh my God. If they start, I'm just going to throw this out there. If they start trying to make Muncie and Velasco a thing, I'm rioting. Unless it's earned. Because I know that I'm going to eat my words later. Unless it's earned.
Yeah. I'm not going to. Well, should I say it? Maybe I'll say it. Listen. But we can't get EO after 24 years. But we get all these new people just starting relationships all willy-nilly. And I had to wait 24 years for anything.
He was married for 22 of those, 23 of those.
Now, so what are we waiting for?
Grief. He's still grieving.
Literally fine.
Moving on. What else? What else? Oh, let's talk about this whole the trial, non-trial. They're gonna let rapists go free situation. I honestly was like, why are we going this way? And the fact that we ended up with Lorraine Maxwell returning, yes, wonderful. But having her being like, no, we're not dropping the rape charges. Why did we do this then?
Yeah, I was kind of bored. I didn't really care.
It
wasn't really a thing because sometimes we'll like bring up points that are really interesting, like, oh my gosh, this is like going to change the precedent, or this is going to, maybe enact a new law into action. And it wasn't anything like that. I was literally just, it was kind of like last week on the Mothership, like, episode.
Yes.
Like, okay, like I didn't feel like an SVU element.
Absolutely. I totally had the same comparison in my head, that it felt like they were like, what if let's discuss these other options. Why? It really, yeah, I didn't care for it, especially because it didn't go anywhere and it didn't matter. And it just felt like the scene of them like revealing that they're not going to do it was, and Lorraine thinking about it was stupid. I understand the scene where McGrath and Duarte and Benson have the discussion outside, and them being like, this is what we want to do. And she's like, that's not fair to these victims. That I understood. The fact that it then went on and then didn't, like went on and then was like, nah.
Yeah, and
why?
It wasn't particularly clear, I didn't think, of what exactly they were going to do. It was just kind of in general, like, okay, we'll let them so we can get to this guy. And I was like, what's your actual plan?
Duarte's plan was, and this is what's wild, his actual plan was, we're going to turn this guy, who's going to turn that guy, who's going to get us to the third guy. How? And with what? And why?
I think also maybe get better at your job so you don't have to do that. Sorry, not sorry. That's what go undercover. Like,
right. Also, bring in organized crime then. Go elsewhere. Go do it with them.
Yeah,
the fact that gang unit and organized crime don't cross over feels silly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I want to bring up, this is so silly, and this is where I'm going to get in trouble. I want to bring this up. The machete.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, the first time we see it is just the handle where he lifts up his shirt, and I was literally, my roommate who watches with me goes, there's a knife? He's threatening this guy with a knife? Later we see it's a machete. I burst out laughing when he pulls a machete on a fucking subway car. You know what I mean?
Like, there's more convenient weapons to carry.
It's so cumbersome.
Yeah, that's like, okay.
And then,
are you a ninja? I don't. So
and then, right? There's all this blood everywhere. I was positive the dad died. They're like, he's still in surgery. He could make it through. I was trying to understand. I'm not familiar with machete wounds, but here's my assumption. If you need surgery from a wound from a machete, it's pretty deep and you're going to die. Like, I don't know that you can survive that.
I have to say, like, we just throw around surgery all the time. Like, when things happen, I'm like, what kind of surgery? I guess it doesn't actually matter, but it just feels so vague. Like, Rollins is in surgery. For what? Like, what particular surgery does she need? This guy's in surgery. For what? Like, what did it hit? What are they trying to do to his body? Like,
right. Did he get, like, was he stabbed through? Was it a cut? Did he get his head chopped off? Like, it's a machete. You could do a lot of damage with a machete.
Right. A lot of different areas of your body that could be impacted by the machete. We don't know which.
Anyway, so I just needed to make notes about this machete because it was driving me crazy. Because when Nora, after the rape kit, is like, is my dad okay? Is he going to be okay? Ma'am, machete.
It's machete.
No, I think the surgery is to harvest the organs because he's a donor. Like, I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, you would think, but then the lady was like, sorry. So I think they were actually trying.
Sure.
I have a dumb question.
Yeah.
So They're visiting colleges at the beginning, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What is her top choice? Hudson?
Damn.
I really need to know because I didn't say it, but it had to be Hudson, right? Because if you get Hudson, you're cursed and everything is just going downhill after.
Wait. So you're saying that because she was going to go to Hudson, this is why her sister was attacked?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Am I wrong? Has anything good happened at Hudson ever? No. And if the good thing has happened, it's because a bad thing happened first.
Yes.
Prepare it.
100%.
What's your top choice? Actually, can I say a theory that I had in this that was pretty bad?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Okay, so she's smiling at these guys on the subway. I kind of thought it might be a situation. I forget the exact episode. I think it might have been the one with like Jake T. Austin where the girl was like working with people to like shoot her parents.
Yes.
I was like, oh, does she like know them somehow and are like planning to like, I don't know, kill these people and like kidnap her so she can like be with a secret boyfriend or something? I kind of thought that's maybe where it was going to go because there was like eye contact.
Sure.
And I was like, maybe the dad was abusive or we're trying to like get rid of him. You know what I mean? But it didn't go that way. But that is a theory that I had at the beginning.
That would have been such an interesting episode. Yeah. And yes, you are thinking of the right one. I love that episode.
That's a crazy episode.
Because her mom's like a gay rights activist that it turns out that she was cheating on her dad with her partner. And what a great episode.
Wild.
Anyway, you said something that reminded me of something else and now I forgot it. The whole opening. Oh, that's it. Tourists in New York. First of all, I don't know a single person who goes to New York and uses the subway and thinks it's fine to walk from anywhere. Never been to New York, thinks it's fine to wave around a cell phone on the subway. New York subways are known. Not only are they known, they literally right now, it is in the news that they're putting new cameras into them. New York subways are like known for being full of theft and assault.
And machetes.
And machetes, apparently. And you, ma'am, have you never been to, I understand she's from Ohio. Have you never watched TV?
Whoa! I'm from Indiana, so we're not going to take the Midwest. Actually, yes, we will.
Yes, I am. I would have said the same thing about Indiana. I'm sorry, Taylor.
Oh, man.
There was a content warning at the beginning of this episode.
If you're not okay with Midwest slander, you're going to have to exit out.
I'm so sorry that I am a coastal elitist. So... what was I saying? Anyway, watch TV or a movie. Everyone knows the subway.
Read a book.
Read a book. You hold your purse tight. You don't make eye contact. You act like you have mental illness so that no one bothers you. Yep. I'm going to get canceled for all of the things I just said. Let's keep going.
Teaching people how to survive on the subway. That's nice of us. It's a free
literally going to be doing this tomorrow. You'll see.
You're going to make that noise too.
That is the noise. No one will bother me.
Was that good? Did I get it?
You got it. Anyway, I don't know why McGrath is still there. That's like my big note for this episode. Why is he still around?
And like we haven't continued his story at all. Because remember, we thought he was like abusive to his kids, and like we've never touched on that again. Which, like, honestly, maybe I'm fine with because I don't care enough about him to like learn more. But that's a bit odd.
It's when we get a new showrunner, often what happens is whatever storylines were teased get forgotten, right?
Yeah,
like
they kind of inherited it.
Yeah. So I don't think we're ever going to get that. It almost this episode felt like we were going back to that old storyline that Benson might have a drinking problem. Like just the way she was enjoying her wine. I was like, wait a second. Are we going back to that? We timed that back. That was years ago. She was dating Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
That's how long ago that was.
Throwback. But it didn't feel ominous. You know what I mean? It felt kind of ominous in those episodes.
Yes.
Like, she's having a cab. She's vibing. She's living her life.
Sure.
She drinks responsibly now, I guess.
All right. People in the chat, we're loving your questions.
I
Alice says,
try, you know?
Taylor asking all the right questions today. Yeah. All right, let's go on to best lines.
Yeah, I have so many.
I have just 2.
Okay, you go first
then. My first one is, this whole planet is floating in the middle of an explosion. Is anything ever all right? What?
I'll be there though.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying, what?
Yeah. Was that a Duarte quote? Who said that?
Finn.
Oh, Finn said that. I don't even remember. Okay.
Finn
that
walks
feels
in.
Like such a munch line.
But Velasco says, everything all right, Sarge? And Finn says, this whole planet is floating in the middle of an explosion. Is anything ever all right? What?
Okay, get all existential on me, Finn.
Where did this come from?
Oh no, that's like, okay. Okay.
You're right, it totally feels like a munch line. And then this is the one that's really sticking with me. Martinis are the lubricant of justice.
It's a great
yes.
One. It's true. Okay.
Take it away.
These Ubers will cost more than the vacation itself. That one hit really hard for me because he's right. And I understand why they went on the subway now. You already mentioned keep him the hell away from me. Great. Sheer zookeeper or something. Also great because wow, what a dig. And also, yes, she was. The Velasco and Muncie exchange must be hard for a white woman to wear gangs since you stick out like a sore thumb. Must be hard to earn the trust of a rape victim after they've been victimized by a man. I was like, whoa! I respected that.
But they're both right.
They're both right. But the exchange, I was like, whew! Tension. I was here for it. Sleep sounds like one of the 7 dwarfs to me. True. I always love it when these like scary guys have like names like that. Sleep.
It's the worst name.
It is bad, but like, but I love that because like it brings me back to the days of, like DJ Dizzler or whatever, Dizzle or whatever. Like I love.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you compare quality like Dizzer to Sleep?
I love like a bad, even like the company names. I think are just so good. Like,
yeah.
Like, she has this soft spot for green eyes. You can borrow Velasco. Just I think that was so good. Just offered him up. Okay, this was a misunderstanding that I had for this quote, but I think my misunderstanding made the quote so much better, so I'm going to say it.
I love it.
So Duarte tells Velasco, call me when you're ready to grow up. And I absolutely thought he said glow up. Like, call me when you're ready to like join the better squad. And so if we would have changed it to glow up, that would have been the best line of the episode, but they stuck with grow up for some reason. The next word out of your mouth better be captain. Tell him. I thought this was clever. 2 ways to get out of BX9, witness box and a pine box. I was like, ooh, clever writing there. This lawyer's got to be doing whippets.
It's a good line too.
You make it sound like a bad Yelp review for the city of New York.
Yeah.
I may be a lowly public defender with a degree from Turo, but I know that's not your call. If you want to spend the rest of your life doing something that's easy, at least give Benson a heads up. Like he dragged him. Like Finn really dragged him.
I gotta look. I think that Finn had a really good point, but I don't know. I just don't want to say that gang unit or narcotics, which usually ties into gang unit, like I don't want to say that those are easy.
No, of course not. And I'm not saying that either.
No. I think the show
was saying it, which
sure.
crazy.
I think it's really irresponsible of a show to be like gang unit. The guy had a fucking machete.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the fact that they just had him like blatantly say that, I was like, that is that is a choice. And
Yeah.
I had to, like, I just like that we did get Finn having attitude though too. Like everyone just had attitude in this episode.
Yes.
And I love it when they have some attitude.
All right. Any more?
No, and then it was obviously the one that you said, martinis are the lubricant of justice, because like, come on, it's too good.
Too good. Absolutely. I love all of those. Thank you for bringing those. If you're watching us live and you have some quotes, we have another name. Gots Money.
It's money. God, it's so good.
Fucking great. Gots Money. I was thinking about him the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, here's why.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Gots Money is from Wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Gots Money's the rapper in Wildlife. Here's why I thought about it. Takes us straight into our next segment on organized crime.
I was like, I know why I think of Wildlife, but
on organized crime this week, Stabler walks into, there's like people who are illegally selling animals. And I was like, is he not gonna reference like, oh, I know people. Oh, I've done this. Like,
giving
are we not gonna
giving it a basketball?
No, it was really, really funny. Yes, earlier I said the Tic Tac, which was a reference to organized crime as well. Here's the thing. I don't know what's going on over there. It has nothing to do with our show. They are making him stupid because there's no way that Elliot Stabler, who has multiple children, including one in high school, doesn't know what TikTok is.
Yeah.
He also, there was another thing he said, and I was like, they're really trying to make him sound stupid. And I don't understand why.
Do they not have TikTok in Rome or wherever he was?
I guarantee his child, who has been here now for more than a year, is on TikTok. Anyway.
Drop your handle, Eli. You want to see it.
Yeah, so that's what's happening over in that.
Are you on TikTok? I haven't yet.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I do have a TikTok. Yes.
Have you been seeing the Miami Boys Choir?
No.
Okay. That's on my For You page all the time.
That is not on brand for me.
Well, it's not super on brand for me either, but now I stand all of the Miami Boys Choir. They're a Jewish choir. They're iconic. They're like 12 and they are just tearing it up. In case you guys didn't know that, go look at Miami Boys Choir.
Thank you for that.
I don't regret
it. That's not the side of TikTok that I'm on.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be the side of TikTok I was on, but here I am.
Yeah. What else did I need to tell everybody? It's time for the weekly poll.
Hey,
Taylor, what's the poll?
Well, last week we had
two right.
polls, asking what was your favorite part of the crossover. In last place, with a sad 12% of the vote, we had the first part, OC, which makes sense because they just told the same story 8 times.
I'm actually shocked.
Really?
I thought it would be second place.
No, second place is The Mothership, Law and Order with 16%, so very close.
Right.
And first place, shocker, it was SVU with 72% of the vote. He also wanted to know what your guys' favorite one of our accents was. In third place was Felicia's Southern accent with 11% of the vote. In second place was my British accent with 22% of the vote. And the winner is Yael with 66% of the vote with her Russian one. I just know that I'm putting all these in air quotes because none of them are good enough to be considered even remotely good or authentic. But we tried our best.
I'm so flattered.
Yael.
Thank you. I never win things like this.
I'm going to need you guys to do some more reviews so I can try again.
That's amazing. It is time for this segment we all forget about.
No, we forgot about this week's poll.
Oh, right. Keep going.
Sorry. It's a very basic poll. I just want to know who your favorite Bronx bestie was. I didn't know whether to put Bronx bestie or Bronx babe, but I said Bronx bestie. Did you prefer Duarte or Muncie? Muncie is overwhelmingly winning right now, but we'll see if we have any Duarte stands come out of the woodwork before next week.
I'm trying to think if there was someone else that I wish we would have put on that poll.
I know. For some reason, when I was making it, I was like, oh yeah, there was a bunch more people from that, and there really wasn't. I was thinking of Velasco because he was like trying to get like
their team was small.
Team was very small.
Odd.
It could have been bigger if they just would have taken Velasco, but
yeah, they should have. I really wish they would have taken him. All right, now what did we learn?
What noise to make on the subway?
What's the noise?
Something like that, right?
I think so.
If you guys are wearing headphones, like I just want to say, I'm so sorry. But also, if you make that sound your ringtone, I don't know, a little prize for you.
Oh, you know what I learned? I learned that martinis are the lubricant of justice.
That's so true.
I also learned, somebody said it in the chat, that Finn's been watching too much Discovery. Thank you, Strong Girl Army.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did I learn anything else? So much. I mean, I didn't learn that you shouldn't go to Hudson University, but this was a nice reminder for sure.
Did anybody know? I'm asking the chat. Did anybody know that we were getting a new addition to the team with Muncie? Did we know this ahead of time? Was this news? Oh, you knew?
Yeah.
This was news that had come out.
Yeah, I think the actor's name had been dropped that they were joining full time. And isn't there someone else joining full time too? I thought there was going to be two.
I don't recall. There's a really good chance that I tweeted this out and totally forgot about it because I was overwhelmingly upset about. Yeah,
was going to join. Was she on soap operas before this? Is that true?
Molly Burnett. Let's see. Miss Molly Burnett was from Queen of the South.
Oh, okay.
General Hospital. Okay. Days of Our Lives.
Because I feel like I read somewhere, I don't know if how true this is, and I feel like I read on social media, and I'm sorry if you're the one who told me or tweeted it, but something about how we're getting some of these particular new people as actors because they had contracts with NBC as a whole or something. So their like contract or their pay is like maybe more economical somehow because of that. So I've read that somewhere. Like I said, don't quote me on that. And I'm sorry if I took that information from you and I'm saying it like it's my own. It's not research that I personally did or knew, but I think that might be a thing potentially.
Interesting. Sarah says that it was mentioned on Twitter that she was joining. Zach says it was announced before the season began that Muncie be joining the squad. Thank you. I guess there's again a very good chance that I tweeted it out and completely forgot about it because I was very focused on Rollins leaving and the drama behind that. But interesting. And then Strong Girl Army says the only announcement I remember was organized crime getting Wild Dog. For those who don't know, that is an actor from Arrowverse who played a character called Wild Dog, and now he's on organized crime, which is again what my roommate refers to him as. I remember him from Old School, which is a classic comedy film that does not hold up, but was great at the time. Really doesn't hold up. They announced it in July, says Danny, about Muncie. Yeah, thank you, Danny.
Or the Kelly Giddish stuff, I think.
Yeah, then I definitely ignored it. Sarah says, I learned that the squad room's vending machine is whack, but Liv can help us out.
But only if you want cashews. If you want Flamin' Hot Cheetos, you are out of luck.
I don't understand why she would be embarrassed that she wants Flaming Hot Cheetos. That is a very beloved snack, is it not?
It is, but I mean, would I want to tell Olivia Benson that I'm craving Flaming Hot Cheetos? Like, I don't know.
If that is what I was craving, absolutely. It's not like she wanted something weird.
Yeah, it just feels a little, I don't know. I understand.
I definitely don't. I guess I learned that it's weird to tell Benson.
It's not weird. It's just like that's what you eat in high school.
She is a grown-ass woman. She can eat what she wants.
I'm not disagreeing, but if there's a choice between an apple and a Flamin' Hot Cheeto and you choose a Flamin' Hot Cheeto, what does that say about you?
That you prefer Flaming Hot Cheetos. I understand. Whatever. I understand. I'll allow it. Oh, all right. Let's tell you guys what's happening next week. Hi, friends. So next week, I will be on the subway clutching my bag and making noise
What
because
noise?
I'll be. I don't want to do it again because I'm worried about people wearing headphones.
Oh wow! After I did it, made myself look like the asshole.
Correct. So I will not be here. Taylor will also be somewhere, not on a subway, somewhere safe. So definitely somewhere safe. If I recall where you're going, it's very safe.
Okay.
So anyway, we will not be here next week, which means that the S review show will be pushed another week. We'll be doing that episode and whatever episode airs the week after. So 2 episodes in 2 weeks. But based on the trailer, next week's episode, I believe, is ripped from the headline of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
It's that's going to be very interesting to discuss, assuming that is what, because that's what it looked like it was about, assuming that's what it's ripped from. We're going to have a very I guess I'm going to definitely take it into a serious tone as we talk about some things while I say some shit.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know, but we are.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So in a couple weeks, hopefully they take it and veer off in a very different direction, which would be great. Yeah. But that's what's happening. So we're off next week. Please feel free to write us comments on iTunes, on Apple Podcasts, on iTunes, whatever it is now. And leave your thoughts here on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, you can watch the video there too. Until next time, Taylor, where can we find you in the poll?
You can find me in the poll on Twitter at @alphaba_, and you can also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I write for FANVERSATION and Collider, so you can always find my written thoughts there as well.
Amazing. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. You can find me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL.
You have to spell it. What are you doing?
I forget. I'm very hungry. And so my brain stopped working. I also was like, I should tell everyone where to find Felicia. She is on Instagram at It's Felicia Michelle. There is a Twitter. She just doesn't use it. Also, bringing it back to Lucy Taylor, the actress from this episode, who was in Leverage Redemption Season 1. If you watch Leverage Redemption on Freevee, you should check out the official Leverage Redemption After Show, a very distinctive podcast on the Electric Now app. It is free. Every episode of the first season, there is an after show episode to go with it. And season 2 will be coming shortly. There will also be some specials. So if you watch Leverage, check that out. Leverage Redemption After Show. Is that everything? Have I forgotten anything?
I feel like that's pretty solid.
That's it. Have a martini, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Justice.
It really is. Bye.